So, as you know, we have been writing letters to Uncle Thomas George Cushman about our journey on the Mayflower and our life in the new land. Okay? You today are going to practice taking the information that we have researched about our journey, and you are going to be putting it into a letter format. Okay? So you're going to take time to look at what you have researched and put it into some sentences so that Uncle Thomas George Cushman can understand what you are saying. Okay? Our lesson today is going to be a two-part lesson again. So we're going to do half of the seesaw assignment today. We will do half of the seesaw assignment tomorrow to finish up. So it does have that stop sign inside of there that I wanted to make sure you were aware of. To get us started, Ms. Sharp is going to walk us through our goal for today and what we should accomplish when this letter is done.
Welcome to day one of your friendly letter writing. Today's goal is that you can generate a draft by developing, selecting, and organizing ideas relevant to the topic, purpose, and genre. What that means, a draft is the first copy. So today you will be making a first copy of your friendly letter. Your purpose is to write a family member back home after you've traveled to the new world.
Okay, so your family member, as you know, is that crazy uncle that we met on Monday, and we're letting him know about our life at home after we have traveled and settled. Okay, we're going to watch a short vocabulary on how to write a friendly letter. And as you're watching this, I want you to be thinking about the 5 parts of a letter. What 5 parts are there? There should be some review for you from 2nd grade, but there's going to be some parts that we're a little bit more detailed on. Okay, so what are the 5 parts? Here we go.
I wanna say what's up, I wanna send my love, I wanna wish you well, I gotta write you a letter, write you a letter, do you have a fax machine? Nah, a letter.
Email is convenient, you click a few buttons, what's better than a letter though? Nothing, typed or handwritten, put some effort in it, they're pretty similar. Not that different, they both are forms of communication. A way to get in touch, say what up, what's shaking. The person you are writing to is the recipient, like family, celebrities, politicians, or kittens. Okay, let's get down to the nitty grit. Letters have 5 parts, the first of which is the heading. Your name, address, and the date. It goes on the right at the top of the page. The second part that you'll be needing is the greeting. It's how you say hello to whoever is reading. Also, it's important to know, if it's a business letter, use their title. Keep it formal, like Dear Mr. Anderson, good day, Miss Russell. For friends, it's cool to write your what up, cuzzo. Also, remember this, and there won't be a problem. Capitalize the greeting and end it with the comma.
I wanna say what's up, I wanna send my love, I wanna wish you well, I gotta write you a letter, write you a letter, what about a telegram? Nah, a letter.
So here we are at the body, the letter's third part. You know, when you go ahead and spill your heart, it can be long or short, whatever you want. If you're writing your friends, say some silly stuff. Make an inside joke only they will get. That way they'll have a good laugh when they read it. And when you've said all that you have to say, the 4th step is at a closing to the page. It's a short phrase used to wrap things up, like yours truly, or
This message will self-destruct.
again. Remember, so there won't be a problem. Capitalize the closing and end it with the comma. The fifth part, the last thing to do is add your signature and make it cool, kid. But don't overthink it or strain your brain. It's just a fancy way of writing your name. And there you have it. You wrote a whole letter, top to bottom, 5 parts together.
I wanna say what's up. I wanna send my love. I wanna wish you well. I gotta write you a letter, a letter, a letter. Write you a letter, a letter, a letter. Maybe an email. Nah, a letter, a letter, a letter.
Remind me again why we can't just send an email?
Alrighty, so 5 parts of a letter. Those 5 parts again are the heading. The heading is the first section of a letter. It lets you know who the letter is going to, or is from, the sender's name, address, and date, okay? Next part of a letter is the greeting. You gotta say who you're talking to, right? That way the person knows, oh, they're writing to me. I didn't get this from someone else. Then we go into our body. This is the part that you guys wrote yesterday and the day before. You answered the 4 questions that are going to be in your letter. How was the journey? What kind of shelter have you been living in? What kind of food are you eating? And what are you doing for fun in the new world? So those 4 pieces of information will be inside of your letter today in the body. Then you moved on to the, where is it at? Closing. That's where you kind of sign off like we do on Zoom every day. Peace out, bye, see ya, sayonara. Have a good day. Closings are how we let people know we're done talking now. We're wrapping this up. It's getting closed. And then finally, it is your signature, just a fancy way to write your name. Doesn't have to be in cursive, just a fancy way to put your name so that person knows this is really from me, okay? So 5 parts of the letter. We're gonna work on putting pieces of those letters together. Any questions on those 5 parts? Questions or comments about the 5 parts of the letter? Okay. Today, you are going to begin the draft of that letter. I want you to know how you're going to be graded. So this is your rubric. You guys have seen rubrics several times, and you know that you want to get as many points as you can. So you want to get 3 points for each category. Okay, so you will notice that on the 3, there's a lot of yeses. Yes, you got it. No, you don't. You get 0 points. Down here is where we start to get a little more detailed and getting more or less points. So Ms. Sharp will explain this rubric to you, and I want you to be thinking about how you can make sure you get an A+. I'm showing you how to get an A+. That's right here. You do these things, boom, A+.
Here is the rubric that you will be used to grade your friendly letter. You will get points for having the date, the greeting, the closing, and the signature, which is your name. The body, you will get points that it describes your journey, what it was like on the boat, that you describe the shelter that you have created, the food that you eat, and that you describe what you do for fun. You will also get points for correct capitalization, that your spellings make sense, punctuation, and spelling.
Okay.
It is worth a total of 27 points.
So this is how you're going to be graded. The awesome news is that you already did most of this work. The last 2 days, you practiced recording your ideas about the journey. You told me the boat was smelly because people were throwing up. You told me that it was very cramped because you had to stay in the bottom of the ship. You already have these facts. You've also already told me about the shelter. You've told me about how you had to chop wood to build it and how everybody stays in one big room and you don't have privacy. You've told me this information. About the food, we read our text and we found out that it got so desperate there, they ate people's flesh after they died. You told me that. You told me that after that winter was over, they realized we've got to make a better plan for next winter. So they started making corn and crops and having animals mate together. So there were babies, so they had meat for the next winter. We learned about the food. You also told me about the different activities that they played. We learned that card games have been around for quite a few hundred years. We learned about marbles being played as a game. Hide and seek was invented during this time. So you guys have already found all the information. Now you're just putting it into sentences instead of lists, okay? Questions on how you're going to be graded with your letter. Questions, questions, questions. Terrence.
So, do we have to do that?
Have to do what?
The rubric?
Do I ever give you things that you don't have to do?
Yes.
You do not. No optional assignments, kiddo. All right, and then we're gonna stop right here. So now I'd like for you to go to your activities because this is now released to you. So go to your activities on Seesaw. And again, I recommend making your screen smaller so that you can put Zoom over here in the blank space and you can see your work at the same time. And your assignment that you're looking at is called Pilgrim's Friendly Letter Back Home. Pilgrim's Friendly Letter Back Home, okay? Day one, we've done this part. We've gone over the objectives, we've reviewed the parts of a letter, and we've looked at your rubric. So now we're gonna take time to look at this independent portion. You are going to use the information you collected the past 2 days for your letter back home. See this link right here? Watch what happens when I click that link. Boom. It opens me up to my work from the last 2 days. So I'm going to have 2 Seesaw tabs open. I'm going to have today's lesson, and I'm going to have the last 2 days' work that I can flip through to see my notes, to see my ideas that I put down on paper for my draft. So go ahead and click on that blue link right now and have 2 tabs open. 2 tabs. So I'm gonna be able to flip back and forth from the last 2 days' work and now. Now that you have your work from yesterday open, go ahead and scroll down and add your response for today. So click on that add response button so that you have today's work open as well.
Miss Sousa, I don't see a link.
It's in the instructions right here, kiddo, in the independent section. It's blue. Did you find it? Terrence, did you find it?
It just opened up a Seesaw tab.
Yep. And you're going to go to the assignment from the last 2 days. Okay. All right. You will notice that the work you are doing today is on slides 1 and 2. Slide 3 is a stop sign because we're going to stop right there because the rest will be done tomorrow. Okay. So on slide 1, there is a review of what our goals are. Let's listen to Ms. Sharp's directions.
Remember, your objective for today is to generate or create a draft of your friendly letter by selecting and organizing your ideas from the previous 2 days to write a friendly letter back to your relatives from where you came.
All right, and we got our link from our instructions. That's where our previous activity is. Here is a visual reminder of the 5 parts of a letter that you will need to make sure you include. needs to have the date, the greeting, and remember our greeting will be to Uncle Thomas George Cushman. And then your body is where you're going to start to add your information. Go ahead and go to slide 2. You will see that we already took care of 2 of these parts for you. The date is done. December 16th, 1620, 400 years ago to the day. We also started your greeting for you. If you would like to change that greeting, that is totally fine. You can unlock it and type it, but make sure it's still to Uncle Thomas. Okay? In your body, if you click here, you can erase body and start typing your sentences. So I'm going to look at my sentences. Oh yeah, the first thing that I'm supposed to tell about is the boat ride. So I'm going to say, Dear Uncle Thomas, we have made it safely to the new world. There were some troubles, but we got there. Okay, now I'm going to start telling him about the journey. On the boat, a lot of people got sick. It was really stinky. Okay, and then I can keep going on with my facts and details. So I might look back at my text. Oh yeah, it was cramped and boring. I'm going to tell him about that too. The boat ride was over 2 months long. We
Miss Susan?
had to stay. Yes,
Are we writing the same thing?
you are not. I'm showing you what I'm doing for my work. You'll be doing this independently. Thanks for checking. We had to stay on the bottom of the ship so we didn't fall off the deck. Okay? So you're going to be typing your sentences about what you want to say to Uncle Thomas George Cushman. So I'm going to flip through each slide that I did about how was the boat ride and what kind of shelter did I create. I'm going to add sentences about the shelter. So I'll add 2 more sentences about shelter. Then you also did sentence ideas about eating. So I'm going to add 2 more sentences about what we are eating. Okay. We also did information about what we're doing to have fun. So you are going to write 2 more sentences about what you did to have fun. So you should be writing 8 sentences today. 2 about your first slide of the boat ride. 2 more about the shelter you're living in. 2 more about what you are eating. And 2 more about how you're having fun. So when you turn this in, I will see 8 sentences. 8. Okay? Hold up with your fingers to the camera how many sentences you're going to turn in to me today. Good. Oscar, how many sentences? Elijah, how many sentences? Good. 8 sentences. Okay. What questions can I answer about those sentences now? Aiden Hampton, you've been really patient. Did you have a question?
Yeah, you spelled there.
I did. We're going to be editing tomorrow. So I have several mistakes in here because tomorrow I want us to practice editing. But good job catching that. Good job paying attention. Anything more? Okay. The final thing is your closing and your name. Obviously, we don't want to send our letter to Uncle Thomas saying your name because he's going to say, which one of my nephews wrote this? So we're going to have to change our name, right? So my name is Stephanie Sousa. In my closing, I might say, with love. Okay, just a way to sign off. All right. So you are going to type your 8 sentences today. Levin, a question.
Or his granddaughter.
Say it again.
Or his granddaughter, not just his nephew.
Try it one more time. You're so quiet. Get close to your mic.
I don't know where the mic is.
Say it again.
I said not just his nephew, his granddaughter too.
Oh, yes. Nieces and nephews. It could be both. Thank you. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. I am going to pop you into a breakout room independently to work by yourself on these 8 sentences. We're going to come back, and then I'm going to send you into breakout rooms with partners to read your sentences, and you're going to tell your partner if they forgot something. Okay? So you're going to get some time to write your sentences independently, and then you're going to go together to tell your partners if they forgot something. All right? Okay. I am going to set up these breakout rooms. So if you want to, you can get a jump start right now, and then I will send you into your room. Welcome back. So I took the time to finish my letter to Uncle Thomas George Cushman, and I'm going to share my screen. And then right after that, I'm going to put you guys into breakout rooms. You are going to read your letter to a partner, and you're going to tell your partner if they forgot something or if you have an idea for them. Okay? So what did they forget, and did you have an idea for them? So here is my letter. Let me read this to you. And remember, we are going to sound like we are there, right? We're not informing about other people. We're telling about our own life. Okay? Here we go. Dear Uncle Thomas, we have made it safely to the new world. There were some troubles, but we got there. On the boat, a lot of people got sick. It was really stinky. The boat ride was over 2 months long. We had to stay on the bottom of the ship so we didn't fall off the deck. Then we moved on. Thankfully, when we got off the boat, life got better. We were able to build shelters out of the many trees on the coast. Each family made one house with a big room that everyone stays in. I have to share a bed with my little sister, which isn't fun because she kicks me in the face at night. But it isn't so bad when we get to cozy up to the fire to stay warm. Then I moved on to my sentences about food. Mother also uses the fire to cook the chickens we brought from England. The chicken goes great with corn. Corn is a new crop we have that the Native Americans taught us to grow. It is yellow and sweet. We love to put butter on it. The cobs are great for wiping our behinds after going to the hole in the ground to relieve ourselves. Ha ha ha, that was a fun fact. After we do our chores for the day, we get to have some fun. My sister and I play hide and seek around our community. The log houses make great hiding places. Mother and father have started to teach me some card games as well. Maybe we can play when you get here, Uncle Thomas. Anyway, I have some time to play marbles, so I'm going to do that before bed. So there's my 8 sentences, and I have my 4 sections. Each section is covered here. I have my shelter, my boat ride, my food, and what I've done for fun. Okay? You are going to go to a breakout room with a partner. You might not have all of your sentences done, and that's okay. You can tell your person that when you go into the room. You can say, hey, I didn't have time to finish, and that's okay. But I do want you to tell your partner what you are going to write if you're not done. So if you didn't finish, I want you to say, I'm not done, but I'm going to add this piece. Okay? Any questions on that? Questions, questions, questions. Okay, awesome. Let me get breakout rooms set up and you will share your screens and read your letters to each. Okay, so you should have had an opportunity to get a pretty good start on your letter. Some of you have shared with me that you have not yet finished, and that's okay. So what you're going to do during work time is finish your letter. When you finish typing your 8 sentences, you're going to save your work as a draft. You're not going to turn this in because the stop sign tells you that there's more that we're going to do tomorrow. Okay? So you're going to save it as a draft. I am done with my 8 sentences, so I'm going to save it as a draft so that it's good to go for tomorrow. Okay? This is what your task is today, to make sure that you have 8 sentences of writing, 2 in your letter to Uncle Thomas George Cushman. Okay? Before you log off, I want to go over our schedule with you so that you feel prepared for what's getting ready to happen. We are currently, and I guess I can stop the recording because YouTube, you don't need to know our schedule. Bye.